So we are about, my guess is 3/4, 2/3 through. What's her name? Saki? No, that doesn't sound right. I don't remember what her name is. um, and then we start Hisal's route. Yeah. So we just came back from the her house where the family did not like her choice of being with a girl, unfortunately. Then we went to the beach, nobody drowned, all chill. And now we're back in school. So I don't know how long their school holidays are. I'm guessing they're not like 3 months or 6 weeks or something, because it felt like it was 2 days. And nothing else of important happened, and we're back in school, which is weird, because I don't think... No, I'm certain none of the other routes went to the next... Wait. Dude, what the hell are summer holidays like in Japan? Because summer holidays are the end of the year, and they only had like 1 year left, because they're like final years. I don't know, whatever. Well, that's just rude. With the holidays finally over, the mundane routine of school begins all over. Mewtwo fiddles with the teaching material on his desk, occasionally stopping to scrawl this note or that on the blackboard in preparation for the lesson ahead. While he might hope for a refreshed and eager class of students thanks to our chance to recharge, like every teacher would, I'm afraid he's going to be disappointed. Hey Michi, how's it going, man? Audio looks good. For the first time I'm here. Yeah, you had shit going on, don't worry, man. Appreciate you showing up. How you doing? A few look genuinely ready to go, but most appear either tired from seeing off the holidays with fanfare or reluctant to even walk in the door as they face months of drudgery after the fun they've just had. After yesterday's late night trip back to Yamako, and given my unfortunate allergy to schoolwork, I can safely say both apply equally to me. Bereft of anything else to do, I rock back and forth in my chair while looking to my side. You doing good on the meme hunt right now? What does that mean? What does the meme hunt mean? I think I'll finally be able to settle down, though, on that. Okay, cool. What video is this? The, Wait, I don't even know what video you're making anymore, to be honest. Suzu, that's the name, yeah. What did I say? Oh, I said Saki. Yeah, not quite. Suzu sits... I need to think. Suzu from Steins Gate, even though they look nothing alike, but that's her name. Suzu okay. Suzu sits with her hand in her chin as always, silently turning another page of a manga magazine on her desk. They never provoke much of a visible reaction from her, but she reads so many that she must like them. While piecing together my uniform from around my dorm room, I found the old crumpled up blouse of the girl's summer outfit. Seeing her in a uniform once again reminds me of it. General use for any video, I just look at things and think, could I make some sort of joke with this? And if the answer is yes, I take it. Fair enough. What's the... Did you ever... You did... I can't remember what videos you actually made, because you're writing scripts for so many, but I don't remember you ever uploading anything. Did you do the Brawlhalla one? I don't remember. You were doing that, you were doing the Wolf Children one, which you didn't do, and then there was something else you were doing. Or maybe you were just getting like Yuri clips or something? Yeah, that's the two. Okay. Hey, Suzu. She continued to read the manga with the same bored expression. Yes? Would you prefer it if I wore the normal girl's uniform? I take the fact that she suddenly stops her reading, a page left in the middle of being turned, as a sign that the question is not as banal for her, banal? I don't know how you say that. Do you know how to say that? For her, as I thought it might be. It was only a month or two before I gave up on it after coming to Yamako, so she probably never seen me wear it. The arms and bust felt too constricted and uncomfortable, while the men's short shirt was much more loose and airy, and then there's that Dumbo. Suzu turns to me, trying to imagine how it looked. The fact that her forehead is gathering creases shows it to be a hard task. I was getting Yuri clips. Yes, I like such for memes. I get anime clips and music, as well as green screens. Just anything. Okay, I mean, fair enough. I mean, I guess there's a way to do it. I've never even thought of doing it like that if I did make videos, but it works, it works. That would look weird.
Damn right it would.
Who the fuck asked you, Haruhi? God damn it, get out of it. You are worthless. You are pointless. Your existence serves no purpose. The voice behind me turns out to be Haru, waltzing in with his bag held over his shoulder. He looks pleased with himself. Far too pleased. What's with that face? You hook up or something?
The only thing better, working at the family bakery over the holidays and get me some fat stacks. I'm rich, baby.
Awesome, you can pay for dinner. Can't you buy your own dinner for once? I can't help it, my allowance is shit. Come on, Haru, we're buddies, right? Hisao decides to pick now to enter the classroom, showing some interest in our impromptu little gathering as he comes to the door. Pleased with the development, Haru clears his throat to make an announcement. Yeah, it's cursed male Haruhi. It's weird, I don't like it.
Why not, children? Dinner is on me. Everyone in the track club's welcome.
I don't want him to sound posh because the other guy sounds posh. Today's show off to a good start.
You can come as well, Suzuki, if you wanna.
Don't worry, we'll both be there. Got a restaurant in mind?
I know it's a fantastic place, best food ever.
If it's a bakery, I will hit you.
Just a quiet little traditional place, nothing fancy, just real solid food.
Is it just gonna be the tea house? Oh yeah, it's actually not. Looking around the numerous low tables and cushions at the side, Haru's definition of little might be questionable. That might be for the best though, given the number of track club members that showed up. The waitress who guided us to where everyone's set up bows out, leaving us to take in the scene before us. Compared to the fracas of the post-track meet celebrations, the mood is much more sedate. I'm glad, not so much for myself as Suzu. Looks like word got out, especially amongst the first years, as turnout's a good 16 or so. The gathering ends up strewn across two tables, having outgrown the one, with the first years having the numbers to claim their own. Given the usual amount of sausages at these things, perhaps the biggest surprise is how many of the fairer sex showed up. A good 5 by my count, which is 5 more than usual. Even Emmy's here, yakking away to the track captain seated next to her. Perhaps the sheer number is why the teacher in charge of the club showed up. The old warhorse sitting quietly at the end of our table as he sips his carefully guarded beer. Between him, Emmy and the captain, Yukio, Hisao and Haru, our table will be full with the addition of Suzu and I. We're equipped with her death note. She never leaves home without it. With everyone jammed tightly around the table, the only place left for Suzu and I to take seats is at the end. I take my place next to Haru, with Suzu unsurprisingly ended up on my fringe.
Hey, you finally showed up.
Sorry about that. Someone was busy. Sorry about that. Someone was busy busy studying. Sorry.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. We haven't started eating yet anyway.
After glancing over our table and noticing the lack of drinks before Susan and I, a waitress quickly shuffles over to take our orders with a fairly sparse non-alcoholic menu. Both of us take green tea. As she bows and leaves, I take a passing note of her uniform. Yes, Yuko's outfit is definitely better. Damn, her ass though. As she passes by the table of first-year students, it's they who next enter my thoughts. I've seen the others out of their uniforms plenty of times, but this lot are new to me. Despite only being a couple of years younger, their styles as a whole are all subtly different to ours. I'm guessing they just did not bother making him another sprite, because I don't think he is meant to have the school uniform here. What's with all these brats?
You know how things are when Yukio gets involved. A first-year girl heard about it from him. She told her friends and...
Jesus Christ, that is the most ill-fitting sprite in this game ever. That looks like some weird, like, 99p fucking visual novel on Steam. It's a shame, like, how disjointed all these sprites are, because it's really nicely written. Like, I have absolutely no problem with how this is written at all, and obviously that's the main part. But some of them are just like, Jesus Christ. Like, I know it's done by different artists, but come on, you can still follow a little style. It looks like it's stolen from another game. Like, this is... Dude, there was one earlier, 5 people on screen, every single one had a different art style. And there was a part where she had a different dress on. She looked completely different. Her hair was a different shade of, like, turquoise. Her eyes looked different. Her face shape was different. I'm like, is this even her? It was so weird. One of the first-year students from the other table suddenly slips between Haru and I, both of us leaning to the sides to make room for her. The bright purple highlight in her carefully styled black hair is the most striking thing about her, followed by the dark punk-inspired clothing. It's just a skull, bro. It's probably the least punk thing ever. She's an ostentatious one, if nothing else. Those ostentation girls be like. She quickly flips around a small notepad so he can see it, to which he quickly shakes his hand. It's fine. The more the merrier. His voice has changed. He's posh now because he's got money. What is it? The girl looks to me and dutifully turns her notepad around. I was going to say something as well. Oh, yeah. So I'm watching... I found a funny Let's Play of, like, the original game that I've been watching. And going from this to that, I'm like, oh, my God, there's, like, so much nice, like, CG. Is it? Yeah, CG. Like, art. Everybody's in the right... like, in the same style. It looks glorious. So then I go back to this. I'm like, oh, God. But it's still fun, though. The girl looks to me and dutifully turns her notepad around. It just like adds a bit of like just unexpected comedy in something that's not really ever funny, which is good. Who the fuck is Yamada? Is she Yamada or is that one of the other guys? That should be purple, right? I assume it's her for now. What was that? What was that about me and Hasegawa? Oh right, wait. My boy. I'm gonna make it like a sassy bitch. My brief look of confusion at whether she's deaf, and if so, whether she could read my lips. Awkward. She could read my lips. It's quickly answered as she points to her mouth and makes a shaking motion with a balled fist. At least being mute wouldn't be as troublesome as being deaf. Wait, so what is she? Wait, what? At least being mute wouldn't be as troublesome. Oh, okay, yeah. So she's mute, and that's not as bad as being deaf. I don't know why that confused me. That's so obvious. The waitress returns with the... I thought you saying, like, deaf is better. And I'm like, it's probably not. Like, I wouldn't say I'd be able to get around easily without talking ever. It would get annoying, but you could deal with it, and it would be better than being deaf. I would kill myself if I was deaf. I don't want that to happen at all. Like, I like music too much, and silence scares me. The waitress returns with the tea for Susan and I, gently placing it down before each of us before bowing out and taking her leave. Susie blows on hers to try and cool it down, while I just leave mine for later. Evidently wanted to continue the conversation further. Junko. Her name's fucking Junko, really. Quickly takes out her blue pen and scrawls on a notepad. In her Death Note, does she have one too? With both astonishing speed and immaculate handwriting. I guess this must be what... she's like a fanfic writer. Must be what Shizune is like when she's separated from her bright, bubbly shadow. Oh, okay, I was like... I thought your name was Junko. Oh, yeah, Junko. I'm still gonna give it a sassy voice. Junko Yamada, you must be Miura, right? Guess I'm easy to pick out. I like the hair, by the way. My parents gave me no end of grief for that. It was pretty lame. Parents are important. You shouldn't be flippant about them. Their responses seem to greatly surprise her. Maybe it's from the way I was brought up, but I've never taken kindly to people who take their parents for granted. I guess I like shouldn't read it. I wanted to be more immersive, like because they're reading the text. But fuck that. I'll actually pay attention to you. You're a good dude. She taps at her pad a few times to try and work out what to say, eventually coming to a satisfactory new topic as she starts writing once more. Who's the girl next here? I haven't seen her at a track before. She pokes her head out a little to see Suzu, moving the pad into her field of vision. Suzu's reaction is to look at me with a slight edge to her expression. Come to think of it, I haven't told anybody about us dating yet, and there's no way she would have. How Suzu wants to play it soon becomes obvious. Another thing that like is like a little bit bothersome about like these different art styles is that none of these characters. Okay, there was a sister that was also like everybody's a different art style, right? There was a mother, sister, Suzu's mother, sister, and father. And they've been like actually important to the story, right? But this chuckle fuck in the middle, there was another guy that added nothing. This girl, I can't imagine she's gonna be important. So what I'm saying is, why don't, if they want if they want other characters, why don't they just use the existing ones from the other game and just like have this be Misha or whatever, and then you've got like the mute death girl anyway. It's just weird that they would add other characters that don't fit in and don't add anything. Unless they do later, but I don't think they do. I don't think this game's that long. And it was weird. They showed literally for like a split second. They showed like 3 other girls that was just like his group, his friends' groupies or whatever, and they all had like matching art styles. They looked fantastic, and then it would just go back to this guy, and it's like what? Susie's reaction then is to, I don't remember if I read this. Susie Suzuki, we're friends. I know why she says it, but that doesn't make it feel any better. Am I supposed to keep that light going to everyone I know for the rest of my time here? Is it even okay for her to make the judgment for the both of us? To be honest, if there's someone that would be like accepting of gay people, it would be like her. Come on, let's be real. Reading fun exists. Yeah, nobody is in it, but there's no KATAWA SHOUJO one, and I didn't want to like, just go in another random visual novel because also nobody fucking streams visual novels apparently. I tried to find one yesterday, and I went through like nobody streaming Steins Gate, no one was streaming Clannad, no one was streaming Fruits of Gosaya. One person was streaming Doki Doki, which is like obviously the most popular one, so I hosted them. But like, I just couldn't find any. There was none that had like visual novel in the title or anything. It sucks. I wish it was like there was just an umbrella category. Like when you play Toho, you always go Toho 6 just because like so people like can find it. And there's some other games like that you just pick like the main one. Yeah, I think Pokemon you just always pick the most modern one. So I don't know. Games and demos. Yeah, that's what someone else did that when they were streaming this, but also like. Yeah, it's just a bit weird, and this is more of a reading stream than like a game, right? There's no gameplay, so I think it fits. It also doesn't fucking matter because no one's gonna find it through that. Unsatisfied and perhaps a little jilted, I quickly take the pad and pen from Junko before she writes a response, adding my own addendum to what Suzu said before handing them back. As hoped, she gives an amused snort. Suzu's reaction is markedly less charitable, while silent frustration written to her face, and there's no doubt I'm going to pay for this later. That's cute though. Damn.
What's wrong?
I got her pissed at me again. He takes a moment to look at Suzu, but doesn't appear any the wiser for doing so.
You can tell.
I don't know how. I get why they both did it. But if she said that for a reason, I think just go along with it and then talk to her about it afterwards. I don't think this is going to create a problem for what it's worth, but if I was in that position, I would go along with it just for a moment, and I'm like, yo, can we like talk about this? Rather than like go back on her best, like, actually, we're fucking. I hadn't really thought I could read her better than anyone else in particular, but maybe it's true. We've been around each other for a year or so. Well, that'll do it. Another school note is held to my side by Junko. You're different to what I imagined. How so? The way her face instantly drops makes it obvious she's heard the rumors. She immediately regrets what she said, but it's far too late to take it back. What rumors? I heard that you got into a lot of fights. The temptation to grab Junko and force her to say who told her such a thing rushes to my mind, but I quickly smother the thought given the number of people around. There's no reason for the newest students to know. Looking bashful as she taps her pad, trying to work out what to say in apology for getting me riled up, I decide to take pity on her. Well, let's just say people change. I glance at Suzu to acknowledge her, but she's already back to her tea. I know that she changed me, but despite my best efforts, I'm not sure I've helped her much in return. It's a shame the conversation got awkward so quickly, but respite comes in the form of 2 waitresses bringing massive platters of assorted food. Sushi, nigiri, tempura, and various other little delicacies abound. The collective anticipation in the room can be heard from everyone. Small fitting, yeah. Junko gives a nod before retreating to her own table. While she seems a nice enough person, I can't say the conversation left me in higher spirits. Haru just gives a weak smile to try and cheer me up. I do my best to return the gesture. It's people like he, Suzu, Shizune, and Misha who I owe everything to, and all. Even, you keep name-dropping Shizune and Misha, we haven't seen her at all in this. The only girl we've talked to in this is Yuko, and she's the librarian. She doesn't even count. We keep talking about Amy, but we never talk to her for some reason, despite her being on the track team. Oh, I'm dead. I let myself fall forward onto the table, my near bursting gut held in with my hand. The room is reduced to a quiet background hum after everyone's finished pigging out, simply too full to do much beyond trying to hold the food down. Each table's gigantic platter was followed by another, and this, being a track club, that was seen more as a challenge than an offer. While there's got a few sushi rolls are left, salmon by the looks of them, I'd say we did a pretty damn good job. Not helped much by Suzu, who, as always, ate like a sparrow. Dude, the sushi is so fucking expensive. It's actually crazy. I went to a nice sushi place like once when I was in America, and the bill was like over 100 quid, and like it was like crazy. Like what? And that's probably not even like the really expensive shit. Determined to make her eat more, I take one of the few remaining pieces and hold it in front of her mouth as she finishes sipping yet another cup of tea. Boom, here comes the plane. This is a weird. Cute though. All the CG is in the style, which is nice. It's a little like simplified, obviously a bit sketchy, but it is consistent enough. Apart from the one H scene I accidentally saw, that was not in the style. She looks at me with a despising frown before taking the sushi in her hand and thrusting it towards me. Before I know it, she's got it half into my mouth. Before pushy, well, I feel like the only one with any constraint here. Giving in to my fate, I pushed the roll into my mouth with my thumb and forced it down. It takes some effort. Probably. You shouldn't feel bad about it. She answers my question and look by throwing her head back to where Junk is sitting. Yeah, I feel like both of them should be able to understand where the other person's coming from. It's not like... I fucking hate when it does this. It's not like she's wrong. I did some pretty bad things, but they're talking about that. I thought they were talking about like the not having the same thing, whatever. That's exactly why. You did bad things, but that's different to being a bad person. True. And again, we come to this discussion. On the one hand, I want to just agree with her and wash my hands of everything I've done in the past, taking the weight of guilt off my shoulders. They haven't really gone into her past like at all, so it's kind of a weird that I bring it up without like we know nothing about her pretty much. On the other, I don't feel like I have the right to do. Not when I'm the one who did it in the first place. It's a lot easier to forgive than to forget. I'm back! You two enjoy yourselves! You picked a good place, man. Was there any doubt? Can you keep your fucking voice down? It was nice there, thank you. Oh shit, I can't remember who this is. Is this the guy I stole his voice? It sure was! Oh fuck, it was! Now I've got both of them! Oh no, I didn't expect to see him again as I stole his voice. Yukio pokes his head between Suzu and I, having scooted around to chat. Oh, fuck. Sure, we're not going... Okay, we're going to have to give him the deeper voice and him the posh voice. Sure, we're not going to be able to do this kind of thing anymore, though. How do I do the posh voice? I'm sure we can scrape anything together to send us off with closer to graduation. It's not really... Oh, I can't do both of them together. It's not really going to be the same. It's weird to see the eternally optimistic Harrow looking so down. That and the downward graduation makes the gravity of the coming months weigh down on all of us. The first years will be fine. They've got a good couple of years more to enjoy. Everyone at this table will go their separate ways into different universities, colleges, and jobs, and then there's a matter of Susan and I. It'll all work out. Harry's got his bakery, Emmy and the captain are easily good enough to get scholarships. I've got a political science course and a fine with university lined up, and I'm sure Hisao will get into a good uni too. But you two, you're fucked. You've got a good brain up there, don't you, Suzuki? I'm sure you can do whatever you wanted. So, yeah, exactly, and then he left me out. The background is just a real start. Yeah, so like all the background, all the backgrounds in this game and the original is just photos with a filter on it, which is like, it's a little jarring at first, but you get used to it and it's pretty nice. Some of these don't have a filter, which is like, oh, why did you not do that? It's just really weird now because it's just like a photo. But when it's got like the other one, it's usually a bit more of a filter where it looks kind of like a painting, but not really. But yeah, it was just because it was made very scuffed, like originally. But like it's a style, you know. It makes it feel a little bit more real in a way because like the backgrounds are real and the characters feel a lot more human than like most Arage and visual novels. Susie just shrugs, not really invested in the conversation as she sips her tea once more. His judgment of her seems a bit generous given her relatively average marks in class.
Don't be so humble, unless at least you're doing better than that lout.
I don't know what a lout is. Don't start.
What are your plans anyway, Suzu?
Oh, that's what the voice was, yeah. University, I guess. Silence reigns as everyone waits for her to say that she intended studying, how good a university should try for, what area to be in, or anything further in general. All that's to be heard is the chatter from the table behind us.
Well, I mean, it's good to keep your options open. Something will take your interest if you keep working at it, or it just won't.
Smooth. I'm pretty sure I've heard that exact line from at least half a dozen teachers before, given their usual generic pep talks on life after Yamaku. Yeah, some people just don't get interested in anything ever, like me. Sounds like you've got it all figured out.
Me? Well, pretty much. There's still a couple of things I want to wrap up before graduation, though. There's a few girls I need to bone.
The truck captain calls out to Haru, holding the camera as he does so. Shouldn't have thought we'd get out of this without a group photo. With Haru nodding in assent and calling over the first year students, the captain calls over our passing waitress to take our picture. Susie doesn't look through by the idea, but closes her eyes as she realizes she's not going to get out of this. No further prompting is needed as I bring my arm around her neck, tugging her closer. With Yukio reluctantly returning to his seat amidst the chaotic movements and orders being given, we end up with a haphazard arrangement of third years and the teacher sitting in front of the first year standing over us. I can't help but give a wide grin as the waitress's finger comes down on the camera's trigger. Susie's body is held tight to mine as everyone crushes together to fit into the shot, and a new generation of the track club stands behind, ready to take our places once we leave. Aw, that's cute. I like that. Although, who are any of these people? Okay, so that's her and her. Who the fuck's this? Wait, this is another! Wait, this is another! Wait. Ooh, wait, are you in chat in a second? Bro, I was like, that's such a nice picture. Hold on a fucking second. Who are these people? I'm like, I recognize her. Alright, I recognize her. Well, hold up. What is she doing there? Oh my god, wait. I didn't do it in chat, so I have to screenshot it. Fuck. Oh, this game just it's just curveball after curveball. I never expected that. Fucking hell. For a brief moment, as the camera flash blinds us, it feels like everything really will work out. It's like if they take it from really obscure anime, fair enough. Another so popular. Higurashi is so well, I don't know. I wouldn't have noticed the Higurashi one if I didn't already play it. The Death Note, the dude looking like Haruhi, like what is this crossover? That's funny though. Goddamn. The event over and time marching on, I idly stand around on the dark street outside the restaurant. A slumbering girl held to my back. Only Haru and the teacher are still around, the rest of the teachers having left by bus. Our teacher busies himself with moving things from the back seat to the trunk so that Susan and I can hitch a ride to Yamaku with him. Haru, on the other hand, slowly reads the long receipt with a remarkably dour face, prompting me to peek over his shoulder at it. Man, I told you sushi's expensive. Geez, that's pretty much the lot, isn't it?
The teacher said he'd help with the cost a bit, but still.
What? What's he got to do with anything? Easy come, easy go. He just hangs his head. If nothing else, at least he's going to finish his time. Oh, he said he was working over summer. That's with all his money gone. That's funny. He's going to finish his time at Yamaku being venerated as a benevolent god of free food. Oh, well, states. I adjust my hold on Suzu a bit, hitching her up a little further. She's gone a fair while without a nap, so it isn't a surprise that it'll catch up with her eventually. I'm just glad she's managed to last through most of the dinner.
Think you'll be alright with Suzu?
I've done this plenty of times before, dude.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Bro, check Discord. The funniest fucking thing just happened. Haru just smiles. After being around each other since entering Yamaku, for good or ill, it isn't a surprise they've gotten a pretty good read on me. Everything will be fine, somehow.
I never thought I'd get to hear you say that after all these years.
You getting sentimental, boy?
No. A bit.
Well, cut it out. It's weird. He gives a grin and a salute as the teacher calls out for us to get in. Knowing him, we better get and move on. Oh, that's fine. After giving thanks to the teacher for the lift back to Yamako and letting Harry go on ahead of the male dorms, I slowly continued the journey to the female dormitories. The school building looks different of a night, barely lit by the lamps in the grounds out the front. Without teenagers running about and the room is busy with staff and students, it's little more than an empty shell. It's not creepy at all, but more lonely. A world without people in it. But that's how Suzu's world largely was before meeting me. How someone could live so long without others, whether they liked you or not, is a mystery to me. Maybe that's the reason for her distorted personality, spending so long in her own mind without the company of other people. As if she'd heard my thoughts, she chooses now to stir. I obediently let her down as she starts to fidget, waiting a little for her as she reorientates herself. What did I miss? Nothing much. It was winding up when you went to sleep, and the club teacher gave us and her a ride back. I thought I was Pink Crimson for a second. I was going to lose my shit, but it's not. It's the same one as before. We start walking back to the dorm, her hand slipping into mine as we do so. She does her best to look like it's an ordinary thing, but I can tell she's a little brighter than usual. I'm sorry about before. What's there to apologize for? Calling you a friend? Yeah, that kind of hurt. They'd be fine with it, you know. I'm pretty sure if you think I lean that way anyways. I assumed you were straight. So, guys think I'm into girls and girls think I'm into guys. I'm wounded. If that's true though, why'd you confess to me? When you said you refused your father's offer in order to stay with my family, I felt... She stopped herself, too embarrassed to continue it. Yeah, I guess we did do that. But, like, you would do that for friends anyway, if your friends are just more fun than your family. She stopped herself, too embarrassed to continue it, as her grip on my hand tightened, too curious to let her waggle out of this. I patiently wait for her to continue on. I felt hope. I never felt that before, so I ended up clutching desperately at it. You make that sound like a bad thing. When I was thinking about what happened afterwards, that courage you showed me made me like you even more. That's... Maybe I was coming on too strong. The girl falling silent as we come to the front of the dormitory building and make our way inside. Both of us squint as we enter the brightly lit first floor. The common room lies empty as we pass, everyone most likely sleeping by now in preparation for the day ahead. Coming up the stairs and down the hall to the room, door of my room, I move to take my hand from Suzu's in order to grab my keys. It proves true to her, or whether her hand refusing to let go on my own. This might be another HC and I can't tell. Suzu, I don't want to let go. I can't get in if you don't. Then sleep in my room. Hell yeah! It seems Suzu still can't speak about such things in a straightforward way, but even coming that close is a surprise. Her eyes betray her nervousness, as if she might be making a terrible faux pas in asking in such a way. It's probably one of our biggest differences, and I don't really get why she gets so keyed up about it. We go on a time limit. She's gonna pass out quickly. With no offense or refusal forthcoming, she gingerly leads on down the hallway into her fucking degenerate weeb cave, which is weird because this doesn't look weeb at all looking at it again compared to her other room. This is just like a messy girl's room, sort of, with some fashion stuff and a bear. And I can't tell if that's like a... I guess that's like a poster on the wall. Yeah, it's just a poster. Don't know what. I open the door with my copy of her key, and the moment Suzu closes the door behind us, I pull her into a tight embrace and press my mouth to hers with all the force I dare use. Friends actually started reading Chainsaw Man. Oh, okay. Have you? I keep meaning to watch it. You're too lazy to? Yeah, I mean, fair. I related to you in person? Oh, dude. I feel like I remember you saying that as well. I always thought that buying a manga was like, I'll read it now. I own it. I have it. I haven't read Berserk for like 3 years. I have 20th Century Boys. I only read 1 volume of, and there's some other stuff I didn't even touch, and it's like, damn it. Her surprise melts away almost instantly. Defensively defensively raised arms, dropping loosely by her side as she let herself be swept up in the lustful rush. And I'm like interrupting the scene or whatever, but yeah, are you, oh, dude, the like year or so I was super into manga. It was so like fun, like just reading all through the night with just like no distractions, completely focused, reading like 6 hours, just listening to the same song on loop. Was just like, dude, it hits different, and now I just can't even fucking read anything. I was surprised melts away. For a flick of time, it feels like we're both in unison with our emotions, a desperation to affirm our feelings for each other and to continue with what had come to flourish during the holidays. After spending the day suddenly surrounded by so many people, now that we're back to Yamako, this is the time for us and us alone. But I'll read the parts that are like normal and not read the too graphic stuff. That's awkward. Things are different now. We can't go back. We don't want to go back. Our kissing deepens as our want for each other redoubles. The feel of her breath brushing against my face and her body remains near limp, all but surrendered to my desires. I pull away with reluctance, as much to gasp for air as to take in the sight of her. Suzu's face is dreamy as she looks back into my eyes, breathing heavily as her lips remain just slightly open, as if hoping they were met again. 7 months ago, dude. Bad friend, boo. My shirt and undershirt find themselves dropped to the floor. My temptations getting the better of me after I shirk my jeans as I dive at her neck and collar, licking them to take in her taste. She merely I get it, but like the way they describe licking is always like weird. Like licking their like arm or shit. It's like, really? Can't you just like kissing or something? She merely lifts her chin to allow my indulgence, saying not a word. My lips meet the skin between her breasts soon after, my knees bending as I work my way down. A peck to her left. All right. We're getting some nice kissing action. Her reward is a kiss to her pink underwear, her breath catching in response. See, don't use the word lap when you're on about fucking eating her out, because when I think of someone lapping up, that is a dog lapping up like water or something. You never use that term when you're eating pussy. Jesus Christ. Her whimpers only drive me on. I want to see her in raptures, making her grip her leg all the harder. The way you describe it, it's not even a translation. This is like an English person who wrote it, but like some of this phrasing is not hard at all. As her underwear discolors, like really? Okay, come on, we get it. She's wet. Miki. Yeah, all right. I'm not gonna read all of this. It's well written, but we get the idea, and I'm not doing the moaning either. Maybe if I was doing it without cam like I used to, but even then. Discolor this, discolor that. I'll leave it out for a second if you do want to like read it. I'm not gonna like completely skip through it, but I want every inch of her. Wait, why does she have a dick? I throw myself on her without a moment's notice, taking hold of her dress and jerking it out. Once, twice, 3 times I tried to reef it off. My revolver succeeded in being the beautiful skin of her heaving chest. Her oh, that's like a that's like her dress, right? I don't know how you say it though. Follows her without as much of a struggle, leaving her body bare. Please, Miki. They just like hit her head against the Did I hear cock? Huh? I didn't say cock. Oh wait, yeah, I did. Because she said like something about inches, all the inches of her. I'm like, hold up. Oh yeah. This dude, visual novels in general, they're like completely readable, and then there's one word I've never seen in my life. It happens so much in Higurashi, and it's pretty it's pretty awkward because one of the guys watching was Brazilian, and he knew the words and I didn't, and I was just like, But yeah, there's been quite a few words in this that I'm like, never seen that before. I have never seen it written, at least. Didn't have that super heavy. Yeah. It depends on the translation, because I think if some of them are translated to just be like simple enough and make sense, and then some of them are like flashy. Or some of them that's because they're translated, is because they add a word that is not common here at all. Maybe it is common in other languages, maybe. There you go, and saying over the style. Yeah, it's just like one word every like 10, not even 10 minutes, like every half an hour. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? Yeah, so this is where we would see the thing, but we won't be showing that. In the other game, it's like shrimp or something. I can't remember, like shrimp or lobsters or something. I mean, I had it turned off, obviously, but I wasn't streaming it. Man, I'm like jealous of like lesbians. They could just go at it for like all day, and well, I guess they feel like they don't, but they could, and that's like, I'm jealous of that. Just a little further, and this dog smiles. Yeah, he's like, hey, what you looking at there, boy? The cool night air sticks to my skin. The first sensation to return as my eyes blurrily flicker open. The plain white ceiling hangs over me. I faint light from the front of the room, just barely illuminating it. I reach out with my hand to feel out Suzu, but I only end up patting at the bed. A brief glance confirms the fact. Shit, where'd she go? Disappointed that I couldn't wake up next to her, I sit up and rub my eyes in an attempt to see where she is. Despite still being out of focus, the silhouetted figure staring at her laptop screen is unmistakable. Dude, she just like give you the best orgasms of your life, and she's just back on fortune. Susie? Oh no! Oh no! This theme is burned into my heart. It came into like the saddest part of one of the routes. I was really invested, and it's like such a beautiful piece. I even mapped it on OC. She glances around, but it's like it's never a good sign. This is not a happy things are happening track. She glances around to see me, her pajamas back on and a blanket draped loosely over her shoulders, back for warmth. Sorry, did I wake you? No, it's fine. Your fucking mechanical keyboard is just tapping away. No, she did, but I managed to mumble over a half-truth that seems to satisfy her enough to turn back to what she was doing. Curious, mildly frustrated, and already awake, I have little reason to stay in bed. After looking at Susie with a disgruntled face, as if I might will her back, I give up and throw my legs over the side, staggering up behind her. On the screen is an unfinished history assignment. My first instinct is to scold her for being over-eager, but if her narcolepsy is messing up her sleep patterns again, it's not like there's much else to do in the dark. Her finger repeatedly taps lightly on a key, only stopping as I drape my arms over her shoulder and bring my head beside hers. I get the feeling she's frustrated, given how she still keeps her focus on the screen instead of me, despite her usual timidity about physical contact. Sorry about being so forceful there. I kind of just let myself go in. I don't really mind. Not a great answer. Not an awful answer. Not a great answer. The way she says it makes me think she actually rather enjoyed it. So she's that kind of person. Relieved that I haven't actually annoyed her, the question of what the problem is remain unsolved. Maybe it really is as simple as what's before my eyes. If you're having trouble, just leave it for later. I wonder if it's just like a case of like they're not going to be going to the same university and they're not going to be together. I know this. It's what I was trying to get done before we left. Before you finger blasted my pussy. I read what she's done already to see if I can be of any help. An essay on the Meiji era by the looks of it. The 4 paragraphs she's done so far look fine. If a little padded in the usual meeting a teacher's arbitrary word count way. As for the rest, I haven't even started in it myself, so I don't really know. I remain quiet for fear of disrupting her thought process, though it looks like she struggled to get out of neutral either way. The brick wall refused to move as she racked her brain. The frustration... you use this thing called ChatGPT. It's crazy, bro. The frustration boiling over, she brings her forehead down to her open palm and grinds against it in annoyance. I can't help but feel sorry for Suzu as her face scrunches up, silently beating against the immovable block in her mind. I know this. I quickly... Wait, I don't know how that was said, actually. It might be like, oh, I know this. I quickly come to realize that there's little I can do for her. I'm just too fucking stupid. Even if I did know more about what she was writing on, the problem isn't merely academic after all. If if Hisao had his physical prowess torn from him thanks to his heart attack, it's Suzu's intelligence and work ethic that would torn from her by this troublesome condition. No matter how smart she may be, or how stubbornly she may stick to her task, she still hits the wall created by her permanent state of sleep deprivation. I think over the talk I had with her sister earlier, perhaps thanks to that, she might get a new medicine regime that'll work better. It's not like the current one seemed to be doing her much good. She saved me, I have absolutely no doubt of that, yet I can't help her. My heart sinks as I wrap her in a hug, able to do little else. Just come back to bed, Suzu. A fresh set of eyes will help. But I clamp my head over her mouth. Having expected her to protest, I feel terrible as her face goes from frustration to displeasure and finally to defeat. My hand is removed from her mouth. She closes the laptop with a sullen click. Hope for working tonight leaves her. Awkward. Sad. Oh no, another sad scene. Or score. I always feel antsy when Suzu doesn't show up to class, and today's no different. With the lunch nearing and no Suzu in sight, I make up my mind to pass by her dorm room once the break starts. Until then, I have to put up with yet another drawn-out science lesson. While a few others manage to keep at least some attention focused on the blackboard and move two schools down another chemical reaction, most are beginning to watch the clock instead. Hisao should be paying full attention and jotting down notes like the good little student he normally is, but he seems just as distracted as I am. Over and over, he taps his pen against the page, his gaze unfocused as he stares blankly ahead. Having caught my rather overt gawking, Misha gives a smile. I quickly turn my head back to the front, lest she become curious about what's going on. Eventually, thankfully, the school bell heralds the beginning of lunch. The relaxation of everyone in class is plainly obvious, even if it isn't spoken. It's no surprise that Mewtwo gives up on a prospect of keeping the lesson going, bidding us to have a good lunch as he collects up his teacher's material. As the class begins to file out in the hallway, Hisao does the same. Curious if he knows anything, I follow him out. Hey. Oh, hey. You don't look happy to see me. Just a lot going on now. I'll tell you later. He tries to leave, but I quickly turn behind him and throw my left arm around his neck without warning. With his neck caught in the crook of my elbow, as I hold it tight with my right hand, he's completely immobilized. And I give him a noogie. Mickey, what are you... You didn't think we were going to get out of that... You didn't think you were going to get out of it that easily, did you? He usually bats at me and grabs my arm. Let go, I can't breathe. You're going to give me a heart attack. You going to tell me what's up then? Fine, just let me go. I release my grip on his towel, letting him recuperate for a few moments as he catches his breath and rubs his neck. I swear being around you is going to take years of my life. So, what's the story? I'm guessing this is about Suzu. Oh, that's awkward. But also, like, she should just say no. But also, this is weird. So this was the guy that was standing on the left at the restaurant, and he's like a lady killer with all the that was like where the three girls appeared, and he was like, oh my god, there's so many women about me and I don't care for any of them. So this is a bit like, ooh, he doesn't want the babes, but he wants my babe. Yukio confessed to Suzu. Oh boy. Suzu rejected him, of course. The problem is that he didn't take it very well. This is about me, isn't it? Oh no. Hisao reluctantly nods. Apparently he's been angry with you for a while, and now that all this happened, he let it all out on her. It was a complete mess. Oh no. I feel a familiar sensation beginning to run through me. Images of Yukio berating Suzu over my failures as a person comes to mind, lashing out at her after bottling up at all his feelings. Were you there? If I had been, I might have been able to do something. All I can do now is try and smooth things over. With Suzu? Yukio. He was still pretty pissed, so I was going to try and calm him down first. So he hasn't had enough. Fair enough. If he wants to settle the score with me, then that's just what I'll let him do. I walk past Hisao and start down the hallway, knowing full well where the ass would likely be. My blood is already boiling in anticipation. No, she's like tall and muscly as well, but also he's like a guy, so you know. You go talk to Suzu. I'll deal with Yukio with her death note. Wait, Miki. Driving past the lines of trees separating the track from the school gardens, it doesn't take long to pick out Yukio, given the few people milling about. He looks downcast as he stands around, venting. I'm not going to be able to do his stupid, like, posh voice when we're, like, actually having a spat. He stands around, venting at someone with his arms crossed. So occupied is he that he doesn't notice me walking up until I'm on the track and facing him. What are you doing here? The way he addressed me, in both his angular expression and acidic tone of voice, only makes me even more pissed off at him. This is all his fault. What the hell reason does he have for looking at me with such disdain? The guy he was talking to backs away. He'd have been around long enough to know how this will probably turn out. Give you a chance to notice me so this doesn't count as an ambush. Oh, she's gonna beat his fucking ass! The corner of his mouth tugs upwards. Yuko seriously thinks he can win this. He almost looks like he's looking forward to it. She's like She-Hulk. So you've come to put me in my place, huh? Work off some stress? You know what you did. Me? I only told... I get that it's like they're talking and then they get interrupted. I can't read that quick. Even if it's 2 words, I can't read that quick. And then whoever's decision was this should be shot. Me? I only told Susan what I thought of her getting hitched to... Oh, that's... Why would you say that, bro? His annoying nasally voice is cut short as my fist meets the front of his face square on. It's little more than a quick jab to make him shut his mouth, but it's enough to send him staggering backwards. Shock is written to his eyes as he stares back, his fingers brushed underneath his nose. I've been feeling blood trickling down. What do you think was going to happen if he talked to me like that? Several people who had been doing club activities walk over the flurry activity have piqued their curiosity. One reaches out in an attempt to help him, but gets battered away as Yukio notices a red stain on his fingers. You ever been in a fight, let us score anything? I was the furthest away from that. I didn't ever get into fights or anything because I was like a skinny little. I'm still skinny, but I was like short and skinny. I would have just got my ass. I wanted to. If like I was tall and strong, I could beat their ass up. I would have done, but I never. I would have got my ass beaten, so I never decided to participate in that. You're like really tall, right? So maybe you could get away with it. But also, you don't seem like the confrontational type in that way. You! He suddenly moved forward with surprising speed, letting fly as he raises his fist. You can't hit a girl. Caught unawares by the speed he's apparently capable of, he swings at my face, lands with a fair amount of force, sending my head jerking to the right. But I know what to do. No, my body knows what to do. Still dazed by the blow, I reflectively raise my arms in front of my face as a shield. Even without a hand, my left arm is more than capable of this much. The forearm absorbing his next punch. Dude, she's going to turn into like Mike Tyson. It's obvious from his face that he has no idea what he's doing, simply flailing around in a violent rage. My senses returned at Yukio on the back foot as he shakes his sore hand. Now's the time to counterattack. I feel like Suzu is not gonna like this, because she like I'm doing this to like stand up for her, protect her, but I don't think she's gonna be like, she wouldn't have wanted this, I don't think, and I think that's gonna create some friction. I drop my right knee as he starts another wild swing, his balled fist sailing over my shoulder as I drive my own into his undefended stomach. He hadn't braced at all as it drives deep into his torso, forcefully pushing the air from his lungs. Spit in a pathetic... Dude, just like... I don't advocate hitting another guy's balls, but if you need to do this, just kick him in the nut, he'll be down for like an hour. He hadn't braced at all as it drives deep into his torso, forcefully pushing the air from his lungs. Spit and a pathetic groan escapes from his mouth. His stunned face frozen as his body tries to comprehend what just happened to him. There's no doubt he can possibly fight back. Confused and disorientated as he stumbles, arm tightly crossed around his pained stomach as he effectively doubles over. The boy lurches towards me for whatever reason as he begins to right himself, earning a powerful swing at his head and hits of dropping him. Jesus, she's brutal. It has the intended effect. His body sends sprawling to the ground as my knuckles smash into his cheek. This isn't enough. He won't learn from this. I have to make this final and irrefutable in his idiotic head. I wonder what his like issue is, because he's out of school for a reason, which is interesting because him and the other guy don't seem like there's anything wrong with them apart from them being annoying and retarded, but that's not exactly a disability. And I feel like there's someone else we met where I'm like, why are you here? I drop to my knees, following him to the ground and straddling his chest, the look of absolute fear in his eyes as he realizes the situation only drives me on. This is what I want. This is the emotion I want him to feel, to remember long after this ends. He raised an arm over his bloodied head, but it's in vain. I twist my entire upper body as I ready the blow, my fist flying downward at him with all the force I can muster. The feeling of impact ripples up my arm and floods my entire body. All prospect of defense deserting him as the strength leaves his arm, but it isn't enough. He deserves this. This repugnant being deserves this. Why shouldn't I enjoy teaching bad people like him a lesson? Yeah, but you gotta You gotta chill, girl. I get it. You made him bleed. He's like down for the count. You can leave him there, man. He gets it. I pull back my arm. Like, this is going too far. I pull back my arm, slamming it into him once more. I can feel my face distorted by the wild grin my mouth has twisted into. This is fun. He'll remember me for this. He always will. He'll never forget how it was his fault. Like, she's like actually enjoying this. He'll never forget how powerful I am compared to him. That's what truly matters. He's a bug. That's all he is. And an ugly little bug under my foot, and now he'll never forget. I pull my fist back. Dude, you're gonna get done for like grievous bodily harm. I pull my fist back, my knuckles covered in a mix of his blood and dirt from the ground. This bug can't even defend itself now. It's at my mercy. I can stomp on it as much as I want. Again, my knuckles slam into the broken face below me, eyes rolling about with each catastrophic blow, the blood running into his throat, giving a slight gurgle with each ragged breath taken. So what if I'm stupid? What if I lost everything? I'm stronger than this bug. Nothing could be better than this feeling. But as my arms flies down at the bug beneath me for another hit, it suddenly stops. I tried to pull back and punch once more, simply due to the adrenaline coursing through me, but only afterwards do I realize that someone's firmly grabbing my arm. Let go! Rage begins to fill my mind as another hand comes around my right armpit, followed by another set of hands taking a firm grasp of my left hand. I jerk my body with all my might, but the groaning body beneath me slowly becomes smaller and smaller as I get dragged off it. Let go of me! Try as I might, I can't escape their grasp. Flicking my head around as I desperately try to work myself free reveals my captors to be Haro and Hisao, like the only two track club members who'd ever dare approaching me in a fight. They managed to pull me off a few yards with some difficulty, holding me fast as help finally comes to Yukio. It pissed me off to see him still awake, dribbling blood as slowly staggers to his feet with the help of another guy who was hanging around. Dude, he's kind of strong. He took a beating. You know, I should just join and we both voice act Trolled another time. Yeah, we should do that. Well, I'll be down. I'll be down. Not this game because I'm like sort of almost done with it or whatever. But like, yeah, I'm down. Oh, kind of trying to take this seriously, but then they just did like some little red squiggles. Oh yeah, no, I thought it was worse than this. I thought she was gonna like actually kill him, like really like knock him unconscious bad. But he seems fine. He very barely manages to stay on 2 feet, practically held up by the one who aided him. But that doesn't stop him staring me down through half-closed eyelids. Happy now? You really put me in my place. Don't you feel sorry, you asshole? You can't do that to someone you pretend to like. Let her go to some violent bitch like you. I'm not like that anymore. That was years ago. Yeah, about that. Somehow, to the surprise of dear damn it, everybody, he breaks out into laughter. A what pitiable laughter. He started into the Joker. Jesus. Tears began to stream down his bruised cheeks, face twisted in impotent rage. Look at you. Look at you. How can you say you've changed? I feel my arms drop to my side. Hisao and Haro haven't let go. I only notice now that I haven't been struggling for a while, but try as I might, I can't find the will to move at him. This is what I wanted, right? I did what I set out to do after all. He made Suzu she's making it like I did this for her, and then it quickly became like I'm doing this for me. He made Suzu sad by ranting at her. Not like I don't think she wanted her to do this at all. Anyway, he deserves this. I can't let myself be distracted from that. That's all you ever thought about, isn't it? I did everything right. You only ever hurt everyone around you. Now you waltz around it, you're a different person. You never changed. You think everyone can forget what you did? Fuck you. With his fury seemingly spent, he simply hangs his head and shakes it from side to side. He's mentally and physically defeated, reduced to weeping pathetically in front of everyone who's gathered for the spectacle. It's not fair. It's not fair. All he can do is repeat the sorry mantra, snot and blood drip onto the ground from his nose, his shoulders occasionally jerking as he tries to hold it back. Nobody says a word. His fists tighten as he speaks, his knuckle becoming white. Just as I realise what it means, his shuddering body lurches forward, slipping from the grasp of the guy next to him. Someone like you doesn't deserve happiness. Oh, okay. Imagine that, but screamed. He screams the word. I hate when they do that in visual novels or even like I guess if you're reading out loud a book where they like say the line and then they say how they said it after, it's like, oh, okay, well. He screamed the words as he surged towards me, the intense pain that must be wrecking his body, all but forgotten in his blind fury. Yukio's arm raised back over his shoulder as he prepares for as hard a blow as he can manage. I should probably raise my arms to defend myself right about now. Maybe evade to the side and dodge the blow, but I don't care anymore. All I can do is stand there and watch his fist moving through the air as his words reverberate in my mind. Someone like me doesn't deserve happiness. With that, my world goes black. Really? Like, I thought you, like, knocked him, like, the fuck out, and then he got back and knocked you out? God damn. Bro turned the tables on her. I've always hated the nurse's office. The smell of bleach and strong cleaning agents, the pure white light flooding the room. The way everything is so immaculately clean and perfect. It's unnatural. Why didn't they just use the... I guess this is the ceiling. A familiar metallic taste plays on my tongue as I wake up from my rest. Tapping at the small... I don't know how to say this word. Gauze patch. I don't think it's gay. I don't know how to say that. Small gauze patch placed over where it's split shows that it isn't doing a great job of stemming the bleeding. Passing my head over my aching cheek, it seems like that started swelling up too. Never would have expected that asshole to throw a decent punch, especially after you beat his ass. While I might be content to stew in my discontent, it seems some people have other ideas. As my head lazily lolls over to the side to see the office, I find a pair of legs in front of my vision, one knee smartly brought over the other as two hands sit atop them. Interesting. This is the first time we've seen one of the main girls in this, and this I expected to see the nurse or Suzu or maybe Hisao. Shizune looks down at me past her glasses, her stare more analytical than judgmental. Glancing around, it looks like she and I are the only ones here right now. Of all the people to greet me, it had to be the one I can't even communicate with. She produces a notepad and pen from her lap, placing them both on my chest before resuming her previous posture. Ah, I see. By giving me these without telling me what to write, she wants to see how I'll explain it myself. Given that I can't see any way of talking my way out of this, I sit up with a pained grunt and set the pad in my lap. Knowing my voice to be useless here, I silently scroll away in my usual horrid handwriting, giving the item back to her afterwards. I fucked up. She quickly writes her short reply. It's like, yep. Our method of communication settled as she hands the note back and pen back. It would seem so. I never had to voice her before, so this is weird. So she wants to be my scratching post. While I can't say her presence thrills me, at least she's not going to give me a lecture. Not yet. Writing like this to talk between each other focuses you to think before you say anything. It's not natural for me, so I end up keeping my side of the conversation brief. Mewtwo puts you up to check in on me. Your cynicism is duly noted, but I came of my own accord. How much do you know? She just looks at me disapprovingly before handing the notepad straight back. Right, stupid question. Am I done for? That hasn't been decided yet. Suffice to say, you are not a popular person right now. That's fair enough. Expelling a student is hardly a quick process. I was thinking that might be the case. The idea fills me with dread, but after having been so graciously given a second chance when the entire staff was so set against me, I don't feel like I have any right to start arguing against it. I guess your little project went pretty bad, huh? What project? Is she talking about her? I don't know what she's referring to. Whoa, she's actually pretty scary when she's pissed. I shrink back into my bed as she furiously scribbles, gingerly taking the notepad and pen as she thrusts them at me. It seems to have been somewhat cathartic as she settles down a bit after huffing displeasure. It's weird that Misha isn't here as well. Just like, she seemed to go everywhere with her. I didn't defend you back then out of mercy of some desire to play student counselor. I felt the attitude of the teachers toward you was unjust. Which students were involved doesn't matter. So I'm nothing special to her, but just another person who happens to be unfairly treated in a way that actually makes me like her a little more. Evidently sick of waiting for me to make a response, Shizune takes back her notepad once more. You should stop thinking about yourself. Shit, Suzu. There's no way word about all this would have... No way word about all this wouldn't have reached her about by now. It's like a tongue twister. There's also the fact that probably damn near half the school knows about the two of us being together, as well as Yukio's big mouth, despite her wanting to keep it on down low. Noticing my regret, Shizune quickly adds more text. Suzuki also came to check how you were. I don't think I need to explain to her. I need to explain her reaction. I really did fuck up. Of all the people I never wanted to hurt, she was at the top, but I couldn't even manage that. She offers me the notepad, but there's a little point in taking it. If there's nothing else, I'll leave you in peace. Thanks for bothering to come, and give Misha my regards. I managed somehow to eke out a smile. Satisfied, she picks herself up and begins to leave with a curt bow. Bow. Got it right the first time. Though holds up one final note after a brief moment of thought. If you wish, I'll tell Suzu you're okay. I have no intention of meddling on your relationship any further, mind. I know it's the easy way out, but I swallow my pride and give her a nod. I can't even think of what I'd tell her after all. As Shizune closes the door behind her, I let myself fall back into my bed. I guess this means Suzu's seen with her own eyes how wrong she was. So what if I made myself useful to her or not? I spent so long trying to distract myself from the crap I'd done that I pushed aside all those I'd caused pain to. What right do I have to ask for forgiveness when I was the one who inflicted all of this in the first place? There's no such thing as a good people or bad people. What a load of idealistic bullshit. Oh, rubbish. In the end, I was right. I really am a horrible person. It feels bad. I'm interested to see how much is longer in this. I expected it to be like 3 hours. And... we're already at like about the 3-hour mark, so I don't know if this one's longer than the Hisao route, or maybe those guys only play one route and this is actually like another 4 hours. That'd be crazy. I did not expect this to be the next scene though. I thought she'd be pissed at her. Today, the weather turned bad. The sound of rain hitting the window mixed with the tinny pop music in my left ear, the girl in my lap having the other earbud. It's not a terrible way to spend a lazy evening, to be honest. That's so cute. I love the sharing headphones thing. It's really cute. The MP3 player lays on a tatty upturned box in my room as it blares away. Suzu tapping away on her phone while sitting in my lap. She'd never have let me watch her browsing her internet sites before, so I counted it as a small success in gaining her trust. This is all the dirty hentai I like. Here's all my fanfics. Discussing some show on the message board doesn't seem all that exciting, but at least it means she's socializing more than it appears when in school. She's on like 4chan's anime board. You sure spend a lot of time on the internet. You always talking to people like this, or what? Some of the time. Most of my friends are online after all. Feel that, brother, sister. Ah, so you're still in contact with your friends from when you were younger? That's pretty nice. I mean, I knew them online. I've never met them in person. That's kind of different to real friends, you know. No. Don't say that. Don't say that. They are real friends. Why does it matter if I don't see them? Well, I mean, what she says is so foreign to me that I struggle to actually come up with a counter argument. How can you have a meaningful relationship with someone you've never met? He's just driving for the inside. It just doesn't seem the same. Well, it's not the same, but like you can't say that not. You can't say like you can't have a friendship or anything. You're really old-fashioned sometimes. Get with the times, Grandma. Her thighs, by the way, are like crazy. Also, now that I'm looking at this picture a bit more, her leg is like very over this way. I know she has like long legs and shit, but like this is like her. I guess it's like shorts, right? So her legs should be like there. She's got a long ass legs. She's got some like fucking spider legs. Like so many of our conversations, this one peters out just the same with little satisfactory conclusion. As much as I might try to build bridges between our different lives, they never quite seem to meet in the middle. Dude, I don't know how to like. How the fuck do people communicate? Like when I see, like couples talk, and they're talking back and forth and laughing and shit, and they've been together for years. I'm like, how do you have so much to talk about that you both find interesting? And it doesn't compute with me. Like, I can, like, be interested in certain conversation and stuff, but, like, some things I'm like, I just don't care about this, and I don't know how to pretend to be interested in it, even if I don't want to be rude or whatnot. Even if I'm just, like, um, you know, being polite and just, like, yeah, like, talk about your interests or whatever. How do you have that back and forth, especially when it's just about, like, random bullshit? I don't know. The introvert in me doesn't understand communication. As much as I might try to build bridges between our different lives, they never quite seem to meet in the middle. But then again, it's always been like that. Maybe I was hoping that going out with her might change things, but Susie still feels as impenetrable as ever, apart from that one time. And that other time. She was very impenetrable then. After such a long time staying so intensely private, the door to let others in has become jammed. Then again, given recent events, maybe this is a bad time to reflect on our social skills. While I may have avoided the wrath of my teachers beyond a long period of detention, ostracization was much harder to escape. In the minds of those who knew me, every idea they had about my real nature was validated. To those who didn't, I was simply deemed trouble that was best avoided. Susie is a solitary person to begin with, but I can't imagine she's oblivious to the weird atmosphere around us now. An idea of peaceful coasting along to graduation has been ruined, all thanks to Yukio and I. If I hadn't fought him, if he hadn't goaded me onward, if he hadn't confessed, if I'd mentioned our relationship, the amount of ifs that came before where we are now is endless. The sound... Okay, we're in her room now. Yeah. The sound of a hard rapping on my door breaks me from my thoughts. I'm almost thankful. It's unlocked. Who the fuck invited? Oh, Marissa. Who the fuck invited you? Two pairs of feet shuffled into the roof. Their owners revealed to be Haru and Hisao. The former waves while the latter holds up the pack of cards he's carrying. At least they're still cool with us.
Evening.
Hi. Hey, looks like you two came prepared. Think you have like poker night or something?
Not like there's much else we can do outside up for a game of
Oh, I was right. Let's go, poker night. Sure, Susie. She just nods with something to do, having finally arrived. I take out the earbud and loosen my grip around Susie's waist. She takes her cue to wrap up the earphone cable around the MP3 player, put away her phone, and shuffle around to the side of the box. This is how Haru take their places around it. Waiting for Hisao to finish clumsily shuffling the deck, I can't help but feel that what Haru says is little more than a pretext to check up on us, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Oh right, we betting anything? Clothes. I don't have any money on me. We're not betting real money. Good grief. Boo! Strip poker. How boring. Being such a stickler for rules is one of his worst traits. It's eventually agreed that we'll bet using small scraps of torn up paper as tokens. Alright, holy fuck, you don't even have like a 10 quid pack of chips? Come on, man. Or like pennies? Anything? Sweets? An old, unused worksheet being sacrificed for the task. Sal ends up the dealer by virtue of already having the pack, doling out a set of cards to each of us. Receiving my card to take a look, 3 of a kind, but low, not the worst. Okay, they're not playing Texas Hold'em. I'm guessing they're playing the other one where you get 5 cards and there's 2 community cards. Not the worst hand, I guess.
Guess the dry spell was just the weather prepared to dump it all in one go.
It's sure coming down hard. Looking to Hisao to try and get a read on his cards, I find him already glancing at us. What's with you? I was just thinking how you two are all over each other these days. Do you need to like point that out? It's natural, isn't it? With everything feeling like it's slipping out of my control, I want to stay close as I can to what I still hold dear. Giving her unusual comfort with being physically close, I little doubt she thinks the same way. Even as I hold it, it feels like she might slip from my grasp at any moment. Is that bad? You need to you need to quit assuming the worst of what people say. Suzu accepts a scolding without word, making me feel a little bad. Whether to comfort her or myself, I give her head a little rub. She seems to like it when I do so, at least as far as I can tell. As the game continues on, the elephant in the room is finally addressed. It was going to be either Suzu or I who brought it up, and it turns out to be her. What happened to Hasegawa? Suzu's gaze is focused on her cards, my own look into the other two with us. It's strange to see how I was so uncomfortable. Hisao ended up to give the news. Just keeping to himself, really. Ended up leaving the club. He says the second part with all the gravity of the first, as if such a thing hardly mattered. Yukio never did have that much attachment to the club compared to most of the others, but it's still an unwelcome surprise. While his face may eventually mend, his pride would be another matter. Yeah, but you were the one that got knocked out. Like, sure, you beat the shit out of him, but like, he had the final blow. Perhaps Yukio's departure is what makes breaking my own news somewhat easier. To be honest, I've been thinking of quitting the club as well. What? 3 pairs of eyes round on me in shock. Did the teachers tell you to, or no, nothing like that. It's just after everything that happened. Besides, I can spend more time with Susie this way. I feel like I'm spluttering out excuses, but I have no reason to consider who I'm with. There's no point in continuing to push myself. I've done enough damage already, and it's clear that I'll never fit in with the others anymore. It's one thing to get in a scrap or two, but another to make past events return to people's minds. I looked to Suzu, expecting a smile in return for my thinking of her, but she just calls out and she wants to fold instead, as impenetrable as ever.
Jeez, I mean, it is up to you, but it isn't that kind of overdoing it. The club ain't gonna be the same without you around.
If you're doing this for me, then don't. Seriously, there isn't that much time left, so why not stick around until graduation? I appreciate you trying to keep me, but it's seriously fine. I'm folding, by the way. There's a moment of confusion before everyone realizes that we are actually playing poker. With everyone folding but himself, he nets himself a little haul of tokens. These people not know how to play. You sure you don't want to put money on this, Asal? You're actually pretty good at it. I won one hand, you fucking idiot. He shrugged simply. Card games are just probability puzzles. Okay. And do you want to put money on it, was the question?
Easy for you to say.
What the fuck's that supposed to mean? Looks like Haru's down to its last couple of tokens, and it's the same for me. Suzu's managed. Why are they calling them tokens? They're chips. Even if they are paper. Suzu's managed to hold her own, but it's clear who's dominating the game. So Hisao checks his watch, finding out the result. I suspect that we have our winners and losers decided for the night. We better wrap this up. It's getting late. Haru looks reluctant, but after glancing at his own watch, he comes to his feet.
Man, I was so close.
No, you weren't.
Well, whatever. See you guys tomorrow, okay?
Good night. See ya. If you see Yukio, tell him he's a little podcast pussy bitch. Then what? Say sorry for me? I still feel like he was in the wrong. Even saying hi to him would feel weird though. Just make sure he's okay, will you? A nod from Haru is the response. The last of the playing cards being shoveled onto the packet after Hisao and Suzu finished collecting them off the box. Come on. The two take their leave, Hisao giving a friendly wave goodbye as he does. If they did come to check on how we were doing, I wonder if they were happy with what they found. Suzu, oh, she fell down again. Suzu lets herself fall back and closes her eyes, chest heaving from her tired sigh. Being around people sure takes a lot out of her. You awake? Yes. I'm sorry about Yukio, that is. I thought, like... So is this like the next day? It seemed like there was like maybe a week that passed or something. She said she had like crazy detention for it, but she didn't get like excluded. So I assume a few days have passed, but there's no way they haven't talked about it yet. It's not your fault. It is my fault. I started that fight. There's no point crying over spilled milk. It was going to happen eventually. What do you mean by that? Nothing. Go and take your shower. Yo, what do you mean by that though? Come on, why are you being like this? Because you stink. We can talk afterwards. I raise an arm and take a sniff. I guess I have been more anxious than usual during the day, given all that's happened. Given up without an argument, I stand and begin to fossick around my room for wherever my pajamas have gotten to. You should probably head back to your own room sometime too. With no reply forthcoming, I pause and look back at her, eyes still closed. A few seconds pass as I wait for any kind of response. I want to stay with you tonight. Guess that's that then. Yo, round 3, baby. Oh my god, this was the shower we saw fucking Kenji naked. The warm water of the shower brings to mind the hot baths I used to enjoy back home. It's exactly the kind of relaxation I needed. So much so that I can't help but yawn. Suzu's sleep schedule might be messed up, but for those of us with a normal sense of time, this is getting pretty late. I end up just standing around more than actually watching and enjoying the peaceful solitude. What Shizune said, or wrote, stuck in my mind. Maybe I am selfish. I have tended to think about what I enjoy over what others might think of me or what they to do. I've tried to fix that though. I've tried to make everyone happy, and especially so for Suzu. But have I managed that? It seems that things are even worse than ever since Susan and I became an item. We may not still not we may still not see eye to eye when we should have come out. Not that it matters now, but aside from that, it's hard to find fault with her. Shizune may have told me not to think so much about myself, but it's hard not to when it feels like I'm the root of so many people's problems. Past... Yo, we in a shower scene though? Past the sound of the running shower, the sound of someone opening the door and closing it behind them can be heard. Unusual for anyone to be taking a shower this late, so much that I open the store and poke my head out to see who I think it is. The ghost body isn't hard to make out past the light fog, her arms awkwardly positioned as she fights around against the embarrassment. This is the sex music. My first thought is that Susie was going to take a shower as well, but I find myself stepping backwards to sheer startlement as she advances. With every step I take being matched, the two of us end up packed into one stall with the door left hanging open. Susie's initiative is charming, but I try as I might play it off with some witty comment. I feel so uncomfortable that the words don't come. But she will. The way she just looks ahead, not reacting at all to the shower's water now pouring over her, is off-putting. She's also said before that she hates how hot I found my water. Susie, what's going on? Water time. I'm pretty sure every route before had 3 sex scenes, so I'm guessing we're reasonably close to the ending. The words seem to stir her into action, arms wrapping around my back as her lips come to mine. It doesn't take long for me to reciprocate, my resistance melting away as our tongues intermingle. Her wet body feels wonderful, my hands running over the nape of her neck, her impossibly smooth back, her petite butt, every inch of her that I can get my hand over. I can't get enough of this feeling. Our bodies pressed against one another and simply taken in each other's forms. Susie really is beautiful, in a way that I could never be. Even when I was young, I never looked as cute as she. Her silky, near unblemished skin telling of a powerful life so unlike my own. But that in itself makes me think back to what I've been ruminating over. Susie is gentle, unlike my brutish nature. She doesn't see the world as I do, nor does she have the experience of hardships I have. What worth do I have in her eyes? I break from my kissing, but before I could say a word, her head lowers. I peck to the collar before working her way down to my tits and yep. Okay. I managed to get to my lips, hurriedly stifled in the case someone outside me here. I don't want to think about anything other than Suzu. Just now, just for this moment, I want to think only of her. I desperately try to turn off my mind and let myself drift along with the pleasure she's trying to earnestly give me. That scared me for a second. Oh yeah. She kisses my nub. Don't say that. I'm just gonna leave it there. If anybody wants to read it. Yes, Susie stands back up, holding me tightly. It's far from unappreciated, as even now the feeling of against me feels more vivid than ever. My hand sinks tightly into her skin and pressing us together as tightly as I can. Taking a hold of her shoulders, I pull back to twist her body around, pulling her back against me and holding her once more. She doesn't protest as I kiss her shoulder, nor as I grip her breast while holding my stomach across her stomach. My hand ventures downward until sliding between our legs. It's hard time now. Miki, what are you doing? Shut the fuck up. Man, I gotta check these out later. Please end. The silence is awkward. Oh my god, I get it. Holy shit. The reason for the strange lilt to her voice is lost on me for a couple of seconds before it comes all too obvious. Oh, fuck. This is awkward. All control of her muscles leaves Suzu with her arms that have been clutching at the counter goes limp. It's been a while since it happened, so like, fair enough, but still awkward. And head dropping. I barely had time to step back as her knees buckle and collapse from beneath her, sending her body slipping off and falling towards the ground. Caught completely by surprise, I barely managed to catch her wet body. Her slipperiness makes it impossible to stop her feeling. The only thing I can do being to hold her to me, letting myself drop with her. The two of us are sprawled on the floor, Suzu's limp figure awkwardly perched in my arms as I sit down on the tiled floor. My butt hurts, but that's the least of my worries. She doesn't seem to be hurt, thank goodness, but she is drowning from the fucking shower that's still going on her. Bringing my arm around her back and slowly lifting her up into a more sensible position, I hold her limp body against me as delicately as I can manage. If it's a cataplexy attack, as I imagine it is, she'd still be well aware of what's going on. I'm sorry, Susie, I got carried away. I'm really, really sorry. I feel like that's an excuse every time and it keeps happening, but also like, oh, she's still hurt. Okay. It's okay. She manages to mumble the words despite her muscles still being weak, barely even able to lift her eyelids. It only makes me hold her even tighter. Oh. Tapping at the clock a couple of times before I find the button to stop the alarm, I blearily sit myself up in bed and rub my tired eyes. Bright summer sunshine already pours through the thin blinds, casting a dull light over the already warming room. Giving up on the prospect of going back to sleep, I pull off the sheets and swing my legs over the side of the bed. My clothes are somewhere. All I can do is scratch my head and yawn as I glance around. The most complex matter my brain can handle at the moment being whether to get dressed or to go to the toilet first. The normal routine finds itself interrupted by noise at the door. The question of whether it's someone knocking for me or just someone bumping against it is unanswered as another set of knocks is answered after another set of knocks comes soon after. Staggering over while asking whoever it is to wait, I feel something soft underfoot. At least I know what my uniform shirt is now. Opening the door feels a most unexpected sight. Why is this unexpected? It's kind of like the most obvious person it could be. Suzu stands silently before me, dressed in her usual light summer dress, equipped with her death note. This is a weekday, right? I was sure today was Monday, but unless the Yamaku uniform significantly changed, the girl before me sure isn't dressed for the day ahead. It hardly helps that I'm more inclined to trust her than myself on such a matter. I'm so confused. Good morning to you too. Yeah, morning. Why are you even here so early? What's with the clothes? I want to go out with you. Oh, you mean on a date? Don't we have classes? Fuck classes. Let's go out and have fun. It's unlike you to worry about skipping a day. She's not wrong per se, but also misses the point. Susan's always taken school so seriously that her choosing to skip is almost unthinkable. Then again, I suppose these aren't normal times. A day where we can, a day where we can just forget all the crap going on and spend time together might be just what we need. The fact that Suzu showed up in my door already dressed for a day out is less than subtle. She knew that that'd be my mindset and how likely it'd be that I'd accept. It makes me briefly wonder if I'm really the one leading everything between us. Yeah, she is like, for how timid she is, she's pretty direct. And like, what's the word? Leading, I don't know. Resigned to my fate, I give a wary smile. Wary smile? Can never read that word. I get dressed now, wait outside the gate so the teachers don't see you. Walking through the shopping centre hand in hand with Suzu, I can't help but notice how few people are milling about. Aside from everybody's at work, it's fucking Monday. Aside from a few housewives and old people, the place isn't exactly doing a brisk trade. Wall of text? This isn't a wall of text. What do you mean? What? What do you mean? There are walls of text in this game, and it's like it takes up the whole screen. Aside from a few, maybe I shouldn't be surprised given that most adults are going to be at their workplaces around this time and teenagers within school. I doubt Suzu is paying attention to the number of people around us though, with her cheeks slightly rosy as she walks briskly to keep up with me. I might be doing my best to play it off, but this is the real first day I've had as well. What do you want to do first? That's a good question. It's probably worth saving my appetite for lunch. Despite clothing stores after clothing store, shopping at one doesn't feel like date material. Wouldn't it be? I don't know. Maybe well, I don't know. Maybe not a proper date, but like, I feel like it's a date enough. Yeah. I mean, I think the font size is fine, but I do get you with the why don't they just put it into two lots? But also, I don't really care. Where's the manual on dating anyway? I never did get a copy. As we walk onward, a fancy sign standing next to a bench catching my attention. You want to check out a movie? Check out the movie. I want to finger blast you in the dark. I was just thinking how that sign is pretty neat. The sign? Come on, just look at it. We both do. It seems to be some fancy electronic sign, faintly glowing as it displays some samurai movie advertisement. Not that the movie looks bad, but the way the sign is animated is what gets me, with the text occasionally disappearing and being rewritten by fake sword slashes, plus the subtle smoke movements in the background moving around. You sure? What? Yeah, I don't know. It's because it's like that. It's like usually just like that sentence or that thought or whatever. I don't know. Yeah, you're not wrong. You sure do like ordinary things. Then again, maybe it is amazing in its own way. Thousands of years of technological development just to make people buy a product. For real. She's society based. I was just thinking more that you don't see these in the country. We just have plain old posters stuck on train stations. She looks a little bashful for her flimsy attempt at guessing my mindset. The fact that she does want to move the topic on isn't a surprise. So, do you want to check out the movie? This is awesome. Nothing beats a good samurai movie. As we sit in the darkened theatre and watch the big screen, I go in as another fight scene finishes up. The blood flicked off the main character's blade before its return to its scabbard. Is that what's it called? Scabbard? Or like the sheath or whatever. We timed this well. I haven't seen this one before, and there are no annoying kids talking to the movie. Yeah, because they're at school, where you should be. No, okay. Leaning back and taking a swig of my gigantic drink, I cast a glance to my companion. It makes you think that maybe taking Suzu to see such a violent movie wasn't such a great idea. No, you're supposed to go see horror movies, right? And then they can be like, ew, but then they're both girls, so maybe they're both scared. Nah, that's probably a bad assumption. I feel like Suzu would be the more scared. Huh? And she would be. I feel like yes. Miki would just love him. I think. Her passive expression might be holding, but only because she's nervously clutching the popcorn bucket to her chest to stay herself. I can say that because I fucking hate horror movies and I get scared easily, so I'm allowed to say that girls are scared. I really should have picked a chick flick, or at least something a little less violent. She seems like she's such like a tomboy. I feel like the last thing she would do is pick a chick flick. Searching for a silver lining, at least this means I have ownership of both the adjacent armrests. Taking the opportunity as an overly long pan of some boring scenery starts. Excuse me, it's called I can't remember what it's called. What's it called when you where you like show the shot of like where it is? I can't remember what it's called. You know what it is? Whatever. I reached beside me to take some popcorn for myself. The only result was my hand grabbing at the air. She leaned away as I went to take some, the devious little rat. Hey, Suzu. Yes? I lunge over and take a large handful while she's distracted, stuffing the lot into my mouth at once. My chipmunk-like cheeks don't win any favours. Cute. Establishing shot. Yeah, I was going to say it's establishing shot that time. Both of us end up squinting a little as we emerge back into the bright late morning light of the shopping centre. Man, that was great. It sure was a movie. Susie Bates. So, you like samurai flicks? Why didn't she say like she didn't like it? Why didn't she just say like, nah, I want to watch something else? They're the best. You got the action, you got the cool dudes. But I don't like the establishing shots or the landscape, but like all the samurai stuff is cool, I guess. You got cool dudes with honor, some great lines, the underdog coming out on top, the valiant sacrifice for the greater good. What's not to like? Do they have to be so violent? How can you have a samurai movie without violence? That'd be like a historical drama or something. What? Historical dramas can be violent? What do you mean? I did like the love interest. Oh right, that cute girl. She was nice. The main dude though was so cool. that you think he's some aimless middle-aged guy, then he becomes someone completely else once he finds his purpose in life. Have you watched, speaking of samurai, have you watched Blue Eye Samurai on Netflix? It's pretty fucking good. It's not, it's like American anime, like Avatar. It's really good though. Really good. Like, it looks fucking amazing. And it's like pretty great story. You're not cute at all, are you? Nope. She just looks at me. Did she mean to imply that I should be more feminine? She does like cute things after all. Want to grab something to eat? I initially moved to check my watch, but the real reason why she wants to retreat somewhere becomes obvious given the slightly unsteady way she's managed to hold her head up. Was she pushing herself to stay awake during the movie? Bro, I don't have narcolepsy. I can't fucking stay awake in the cinema for shit. I fell asleep so many times watching movies I actually wanted to watch. Dude, I fell asleep watching Spider-Verse 2. I was so sad because I was looking forward to that movie for like 5 years. I was so fucking hyped. It's such a good film. And then I fucking fall asleep through like half of it. Like, I fell asleep through like the Pokemon movie, which is like whatever, it's Pokemon. I fell asleep through I think partly Sonic 2. There was something else as well. I'm like, I'm tapping out of this. And I fucking fell asleep through Spider-Man. I was so pissed. You haven't? Since I'm sick. What do you mean you're sick? Since I've slept on every movie, then I watched it. What do you mean you slept on every movie? Do you mean you slept through every movie, or you slept on them like you don't care for them? I initially moved to check my watch, but the real reason why she wants to retreat somewhere... Oh, yeah, so... was she pushing herself to stay awake during the movie so I wouldn't feel offended? You just sleep with me right through them? Yeah, fair. I also fell asleep through 2 that I watched on the plane, but like, that doesn't really count. So like 45 minutes in, yeah, fair. I stayed awake all the way through Oppenheimer, though. That was like pog. I was scared that I was gonna like fall asleep during that because it's like very dialogue heavy and 3 hours long. But the explosions would have scared the shit out of me if they scared the shit out of me anyway. Scared the shit out of me if I woke up with that. But yeah. I usually try to stay up. Yeah, I try not to stay awake. I don't go to the cinema to sleep. I'm not gonna say it's expensive, because it's not. But it's not a comfortable way of sleeping. I initially moved to check my watch, but the real reason is why she... Oh my god, I've read it 3 times! Guessing she doesn't want it brought up. I make a show of checking the time in order to feign ignorance. Sure, how about the cafe around there? In order to all the response I need, the 2 of us setting off. Permit. With lunch eaten and a nap had, we end up aimlessly wandering around for something to do. As the days worn on, more and more people have started to show up around the place, including hawkers for tissue packs and flyers. Hawkers, is that what they're called? My feet stop as we almost pass a sports goods store, my attention taken by a particular item sitting on a mannequin in the window. Nothing all that unusual for a store to carry, but something that I can't help but notice. It's a baseball bat. Baseball uniform, fair enough. The world feels to drop as well as I simply stare. The faceless white mannequin is dressed in full uniform, with boots, socks, pants, undershirt, and jersey. It's even got my number, good old 45. Yeah, so she used to be like pro baseball player or like promising baseball player, and then she obviously had some kind of accent that hasn't been mentioned, that she has a stump, so she can't play baseball anymore. Takes me back. I really do miss those days. Miki, come on. Ah, sure. I look up one last time to the mannequin, something in me hesitating despite knowing I should just put it out of my mind. What have I achieved since then? Has the year I've been with Suzu just been a temporary peak, like my time playing baseball? No matter how I think about it, our relationship can't last. We're 2 so very different people, and once we graduate, we end up living such different lives. Just when I thought I had a chance of getting everything together once more, the light at the end of the tunnel starts darkening so quickly. I'm so sad. You can be together. I am broken from my thoughts by a girl uselessly tugging at my left arm. It's almost amusing how little she achieves despite pulling with both her hearts. You are like twice the size of her. We're not here for you to mope around, come on. She tries to walk away with me in tow, doesn't get far. So that's what this whole thing was about. Susie was just trying her best to cheer me up after all the fracas we've been through lately, though she dared not to say it to my face. I spent a little in spite of myself. Maybe this won't last. Maybe it will. What I do know, though, is that this girl cares for me. That's enough. At least right now. That's all I need to keep it going on. After hitting up about half the stores, mostly just breezing in and out, the two of us settle in for dinner. While not exactly high end, given that neither of us could afford such a place, the restaurant distinctly Italian, or at least pseudo Italian styling, makes it something a bit different to the norm. At least that's what it's designed to do. I can't believe that like it's actually matching the background for once. It hasn't done that like at all. I didn't know you liked pasta. How can anyone not like pasta? True. I don't mind the stuff, but you sure wanted to come here when you saw the sign? Susie just shrugs as she goes back to reading the menu. She's never been good at feigning disinterest. My mind starts to wander as I look over the food on offer. The multitude of Italian names meaning little to me. I know spaghetti and lasagna, but the rest are rather lost to me. By now, the restaurant's at least 3/4 full. The waiters maneuvering from table to table with practice speed. Being the kind of place where tables have 2 seats and no more, the amount of affectionate chatter and loving glances is almost sickening. Susie does her Italian is good for dating because you can do the lady in the tramp thing where you're like, for some reason, eating spaghetti with just your face in the plate, and then like so is the other person because you're sharing a plate. So okay, this is getting away from me. It annoys me a little as she isn't showing me any affection despite that, so I decided to take matters into my own hands. Hey, Susie. I quickly lean over the table as she looks up from her menu, pressing my lips to hers just as she's about to speak. I linger for her a moment, taking in those cute small lips, before withdrawing back to my seat and smiling widely. Susie looks ahead of her, mouth just slightly open. She might as well be frozen in stone for all she moves, her face slowly becoming more and more flushed as she's becoming a bright scarlet. I might have taken things too far as she's totally dazed. The girl's senses finally returns to her. She's buried her face into her hands, desperately hiding from the outside world. That is so fucking cute. She's probably more embarrassed because Japan doesn't take well to that public display of affection. So that's probably partly why she's like extra embarrassed, because other people would be like, ew, look at them kissing. It's gross. Now I'm gonna go back to my love hotel and masturbate furiously to my tentacle hentai. Yeah, I can do that. I'm gonna end up. Hello, I'll hang out with Joe. You are coming to. I'm ending pretty soon. But hi, thanks for hanging out. I'm well, but yeah, I'm gonna end whenever this sort of day ends. So if you want to start up and like once we get to like the next scene, next day or whatever, and then I'll host you. The girl's senses finally return to her as she buries her face into her hands, desperately hiding from the outside world. And then I can watch for a good hour and a half or so. Then I gotta get to bed. That's what you get for ignoring me. Did you see we're in public? So, she keeps her face buried. My eyes beginning to wander to see the public she's so worried about. Brad's gonna be like, unlucky, bro. Unlucky. Maybe another day. I'm used to the occasional sidelong glance from others, but I have a feeling that the looks we're getting from a couple of the others aren't because of my missing hand. They knew. Shit, he's got some alone time to read a visual novel. We must interrupt. If you want to help me find a visual novel stream to host, that'd be great. Wait, who? Oh, you're. Oh, that's that person. Okay. Yeah. I decided to mess with a woman chanting a badly hidden peak from under her thick bangs by looking her dead in the eyes. Also, probably doesn't help that they're both girls. The way she sheepishly turns her head away makes me grin. The question of whether she's looking because she found us cute, curious, or simply off-putting comes to mind, but it makes a little difference to me. Miki. Jesus Christ. That's an art style. That is like someone's deviant art, like OC. Would need the cross. I don't get the reference. Is that some like vampire thing? You don't know any VN streamers? Oh. Oh, was she like kissing her as soon as like the waiter appeared? Like, yo, can I tell what you having? You having the pizza? You having the spaghetti? They're just like making out. This is gonna allow us to repent to God for looking like that. I know. Also needs to go outside. He's so fucking pale. Turning about. It seems my own curiosity has come at the expense of having time to properly select my meal. A waiter dressed in a rather dapper black and burgundy outfit stands beside our table while patiently holding his pad and pen ready. Pardon me. Suzu likely already has ordered. What she's having. The waiter gives a curt nod before scrolling the order down without question and heading back towards the kitchen. I don't think I've ever done. Wait, maybe I have. I can't think. I think I've done like, yeah, I'll just have what they're having. That's just weird. It's like, no, I'm just gonna get what I like. I don't know. I guess if you just like don't really care and they order something good, it's like kind of cute. But also, it's better to get something different because if one of you doesn't like what you're eating, then you can switch or like share or whatever, which has happened before. The waiter gives a curt nod before scrolling the order down without question and heading back towards the kitchen. So, what did I just order? Twit. I have no idea what any of this stuff is anyway. Maybe I should have just ordered spaghetti after all. Well, you're in luck because that's what I asked for. Really? No, you fucking idiot. No, let's see what we get. I stick up my tongue. It's like frogs and snails and everything. I stick up my tongue in response. You could limit your teasing to those, you know. Oh, what? You can limit your teasing to those, you know. You know? Or, you know? I don't know. I'm just messing about. It's not like I can exactly help that we're the only two girls sharing a table. Maybe if I put my stump on top, everyone can stare at that instead. I just don't like sticking out. At least you have a choice. Sorry, I guess that came out wrong. This doesn't feel very romantic, does it? Not at all. I guess I'm not really good with this sort of thing. What about you? It's hard to believe I'm your first partner. I've never had many friends, offline at least. What am I going to do? Go to a bar and hit on women? Dude, I feel that. Like, what the fuck? What the hell am I supposed to do? Going outside is scary. And, like, people don't do that anymore. The image... And, like, dude, I don't like the idea of, dating apps. Like Tinder and stuff. Where you just judge someone instantly. It feels weird and dystopian, and I don't like it. And it's not my, like... It's not my jam at all. Because, like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm someone that can instantly, like, put out, like, how to word it? I was like good part, like, the good stuff about it. I can't do that in just, like, one little profile or whatever. I feel like I'm better to, like, I'm more likely to get a connection by like talking with them for a while or something rather than just being like swiping on a picture. I don't know. I don't like it. The image of Suzu, and I feel like nerdy people wouldn't be on that anyway. It's just like people who want to like hook up, and I don't really care for that. The image of Susie trying that is hilarious, sitting on a stool trying to chat up some hot girl next to her in some seedy joint whilst half drunk. It doesn't seem to be a reaction she intended for me to have. More seriously, she does have a point. Introverts sure have it hard, regardless of the fact she's only interested in girls. So, at least you've got me, for good or ill. Have you mentioned this to your father, I mean? Not yet. To be honest though, I think he'd be more surprised if I came out straight. She managed to eke out a smile, which I count as a small victory. What I say is true, though. I often have guys visit my house as friends without any romantic undertones and get along with them as any other guy would. Not that I didn't have the odd peek at their bodies. Our conversation enters a lull as we notice the waiter coming with what we presume to be our dishes, only for him to walk past and serve them to a different table. It's annoying when that happens, dude. I know, right? I know, right? You get all excited about being able to dig in only for your chance to fly by. Thanks for paying for this, by the way. That's funny. You paid for the movie. Oh, I thought it was like, yeah, thanks for paying. And like, wait, I'm not paying. You paid for the movie, so it's only fair. Unsaid is that the movie cost a lot less than what... Yeah, it always does, yeah. I kind of appreciate Suzu not bringing that up there. But like, if you're like in that situation where like one of you's obviously more well off than the other, then it's just like you just do what you do. As long as like there's a little bit of splitting and it's not like they're doing everything. It's like it's chill. It doesn't have to be 50-50 if the situation is not 50-50. Once again, I wait to begins to walk towards our table, the two of us hoping against hope that this is our food. Our wishes turn out to be true, with the waiter politely setting down our plates and drinks before bidding us to have a good meal. The pasta sure looks nice, whatever it's called. Shaped like little bow ties. That is... fettuccine? What is that one? It's not tagliatelle. What's bow tie? Bow tie pasta. Farfalle. Okay, I wasn't ever getting that. What's fettuccine? That's the curly stuff, right? That's the curly ones. But oh no, it's not at all. I don't know pasta at all. Apparently, never mind. The pasta sure looks nice, whatever it's called. Shaped like little bow ties. It's covered in a thick layer of steaming sauce and parmesan cheese. I'm salivating just looking at that. Why didn't I just read? You know, it's farfalle, if you're wondering. Delicious is what it is. Let's talk, more eat. Cute. Oh my god, I really do like this art style. Just like the coloring of it is really nice. It reminds you of Greece. Although, what is she, fucking 4 years old? Who like fists their fork like that? What the fuck? Like, like what the fuck? I feel like it's a soft art style. Yeah, I like it. Anything that it's like, it doesn't have to be stunningly high def, perfectly finished, like 10 hours, like, I don't know, 20 hours on every piece. Just have it be consistent. Although I guess if this style was with like the other characters, it would look a bit weird, but I like it for this. I quickly dig in, fork in hand, managing to burn my tongue with my eagerness. Yeah, I feel that. I end up taking a swig of my drink to try and soothe the pain before carefully blowing on the next mouthful. I feel like most food and drinks you get at restaurants is like, it's never that hot. It's always like, this has been sitting around for like 10 minutes and it's kind of like warm and not great. I feel like I've never been somewhere where it's like, fuck, that's hot. Actually, I think there's fries at some I think Five Guys maybe has fries that are like belting hot, that like aren't like the McDonald's ones, which are just like soggy and warm and not very nice. It really is nice. The sauce is delightfully rich and the pasta is well cooked, not too dry, not too soggy. The smell makes the taste all the better, making me savor the somewhat small portion as best I can. Seated across from me, Suzu carefully nibbles at her own meal. She looks a bit like a chipmunk, almost seeming to graze, given how little she puts into her mouth each time. At least she'll make the food last as long as it possibly could, I suppose. Tommy. Good? Yeah. I girl a few words, even fewer when eating. You said one word too, bitch. Who are you judging her for? I move to speak, but pause as I realise that her usual quiet nature and slow eating aren't what's at play. All of her movements are terribly slow, and what I'd taken as her simply looking at her food now appears to be an attempt to hide the effort she's put in to do even that much. Oh, that's a shame. It's been a long day for the both of us, and now I think of it, a single short nap at lunch probably wouldn't be enough for her. We should have slept in the cinema. I'm just saying, if you didn't like the movie, you should have slept in the cinema. We've been at this since the very beginning of the day, after all. I don't want to remind her of it, but it's a little painful to see her barely even chewing her food from tiredness. The sheer concentration she's using to accomplish even the most mundane task would be using up even more of what little energy she had. Suzu. Failing to get her attention, I put my fork down and give her shoulder a mild shake. Suzu's face could only be described as one of defeat. She knows she's lost a fight without a word needing to be said. It's okay. Can we take these to go? Because she's not going to finish this. Or she would probably just finish it, to be honest. The last of her resistance. Cold pasta's fine, actually. The last of her, well, actually, I don't really like it. But, like, it is fine. It's not like other meals where it's like, you can't eat it cold. The last of her resistance breaks, has fallen down and twisting sideways onto her arm. Her mostly eaten meal sits beside her. Resting my chin on my hand, I idly look at her sleeping face. It really does seem like these are the only times I ever get to see Suzu with her guard down. Time wears on as one couple leaves, and then another. We've outlasted everyone who was here before us by now, and after absent-mindedly sipping up my drink for what for wanted something to do. My third class is almost empty. Dude, this is like, so this was based in like late 2000s or something. They didn't have just like these people don't have like iPhones or whatever just to like scroll on. It's like she's just sitting there just twiddling her thumbs like, so, and just like doing nothing. It's like, holy fuck, like how the fuck did we live like that? Oh my god. I mean, to be fair, I always had like before a phone or whatever. I still had like a Game Boy or a PSP or something or a DS. Just thinking back to the couple of times where I had nothing like my phone or whatever, which was just like a flip phone or something, or like my DS had just died of battery and just sitting there for like at like a party, or I remember I had to go to a wedding in year 7, and I was just bored out of my mind. I was listening to The Killer's Human, right? And this is where you could buy songs from the stupid like app store or whatever. And the song was like £4 or something. Like it was like £4 for every song, but you could listen to a 30-second like preview sample or whatever. I listened to that 30-second sample for like 4 hours straight. It was insane. I had nothing to do, and everything every day from that I'm like, I have to make sure everything is charged, and I would bring like my DS, my PSP, like 3DS, like everything to everywhere I went, just so I wasn't that bored again. It was horrible. And now like I have like my battery pack always charged fully, so I always have like something. She said okay. They have to sit down. That's how I imagined it. Like she just sits there thinking to herself. But that's probably because I don't use my smartphone a lot outside. I have the unwritten rule that when I go outside, I won't use electronics that much. Really, I'm like, as soon as I am, even at work, as soon as I don't have something immediately to do for 5 seconds, my phone's out. It's like really bad. I'm like Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, just Discord, anything. Like it's really bad. I try not to do it when like. I try not to do it when I'm like around people that I can talk to or whatever, but let's be honest, I still do. Yeah, PSP was going. Nobody else had, hardly anybody had a PSP, but dude, you could play GTA on your PSP, and people were fucking about with like Professor Layton and Mario and shit. Like, fuck yeah. I had a DS really late just for Pokemon. Nintendo consoles are just a Pokemon machine for me. I don't like any other Nintendo game. But yeah. PSP and DS were great. 3DS was great. Pokemon XY was my shit. What else did I have on PSP? I had FIFA 06. I had I had Vice City Stories that my friend gave to me. I had a Worms game. I had a Call of Duty game, which was fucking terrible. Obviously. I didn't have too much on it, but like it was still pretty good. And then you had those movies with it too. Like they made movies for a PSP. It was so weird. I didn't think I ever had any, but I always remember seeing them in kegs. Like the Family Guy movie, like the 3-part episode that they put. No, there was it a movie? I don't know. The movie where it's like Stewie goes back in time or whatever. And there was also always there's just those shitty movies from like the mid 2000s were on there, but I never got any. But it was cool that they existed. Like you could show a movie. That was pretty cool. The first time I when I got a Vita, which I didn't use at all, I bought like 100 quid's worth of games on it, and then just didn't use it at all and sold it to my friend. And I was like watching anime on it. I'm like, this is the future. I'm like so behind the times, but I'm just like watching anime on a game console was so cool. You can stream mostly, sure. Let me know if you do stream and I'll host you. If you don't stream, I'll find someone else to host. But if you do stream, just let me know and I'll host you. Because this is wrapping up pretty quickly. Time wears on as one couple and then another. We've out. Yeah, okay. Now absent-mindedly sipping out my drink for want of something to do. My third glass almost empty. Try as I might, I'm getting hard to deny that she's going to be out for a good while. I don't seem to have much of a choice here. Why don't you like just carry her home, or do you? So in like a week, dude, I was just like half-ass playing it all the time. I was trying to. What was the last session I even did? I don't remember. I don't think I even got tilted. I just like was like, I'm shit at this game. I give up. I just needed to like I need to be like 100% invested also if I want to play well, because then I just play through when I'm having like a few bad maps or whatever. But when I'm like wishy-washy on it, I just end up not getting plays and getting pissed off. So I need to just like take it completely from my mind. I finished my map, and now I want to be hooked on visual novels for a while. I want to play the Steins Gate one after that. I want to try and finish that, and then by then maybe we're in a good mood for Osu. Accepting my fate and considering the day's fun's over, I notioned to my pass and wait and ask for the bill, and then slip her purse out of her bag and pay with her credit card. Since New Year's, I had like 2 sessions, mostly try out maps. I'm like debating if I should try and map in a song. You should. I mean, try and map something like slightly not insane. I have no idea how you figure out someone's BPM. I have a program that you just drop the song into and it will tell you what it is. So if you send me the song or whatever, I can do that for you, or just send you program. Assuming it's not complex timing. It only does like single timing, but most songs have that. And I would not recommend mapping something on complex timing ever. It's horrible, and I don't even do it to a degree that is I should be talking about it. I wonder how many times I made my way up this hill with a slumbering gun on my back. Dude, are they not taking the bus or whatever? They started walking to town. Not that I mind doing so. Being useful to someone is something I've always needed, and it's a good exercise in any case. And then there's the view, shining through the darkness of the night, the street lamps and all these street lamps. I see. And residents' lit windows shine up from the town below. People, hundreds of them, reduced to so many pinpricks of light in the black expanse. All those lives reduced to little more than lonely splotches. Wait until you find out about the universe. It's made all the more poetic by the total lack of life around the two of us, and that's to be heard is the occasional rustle of gravel underfoot as at the side of the road. It's pretty, isn't it, Suzu? No answer. I can't say it's a surprise. The air is nice and cool compared to the day's heat. It's calming. My enjoyment of the night stroll is disrupted as I become aware of my shoulder becoming wet. She started to drool me down. Oh, cool. The resigned smile on my face soon drops, however, as a quiet whimper comes from Suzu. The dead silence around us makes the sound impossible to mistake. Oh, she had been a nightmare. I try to think of a time where Suzu's teared up before, but it's hard. Aside from the time I first met her, and once or twice when she's hurt herself, she's never been much for crying. There's nothing I could say to help the situation, so I end up keeping my mouth shut. It would suck to try so hard and make this a great day, only to have it stolen from you at the last moment. I'm sorry, it's always like this. Come on, that's my line. I had fun today, Suzu. It's been the best day in a damn long while, actually. Suzu's sobbing stops, but only because she's pushed her face into my shoulder to try and steady herself. I should be the one apologizing. I've always been a brute after all. I'm selfish. I'm shellfish. A total simpleton, stupid, and I managed to make a total mess of everything all the time. Compared to me, you came out pretty good. Silence returns as I continue to trudge up the hill. I come so very close to asking the one question I want to answer, but also the one that would likely mean the end of us being together if I asked it. I wish I could say that I'm trying to keep us together for the sake of Suzu's happiness, but I know I'd be lying to myself. I need her. I needed her ever since that fateful day those years ago. If I lost her, I don't know what I'd do. It's Suzu who breaks the silence, giving 4 whispered words. Thank you for everything. You're welcome. Oh, that's so cute. I thought she was going to say, I love you. Right. That's it for today. We've done another 2 hours. We're keeping the pace. And I'm surprised this didn't end. I thought I was going to do like half an hour of this story and then we'd be on Hisao, but maybe it's like the whole thing's like 8 hours, which is crazy because this is like pretty much well, I thought it was going to be like a very short like story, but like this is pretty well in depth and developed. So melts, I know it. Sag.